Welcome into the CHGO White Sox post-game show / pregame show, coming to you live from Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me, Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him at Ecknerwall23 as our CHGO White Sox community leader. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the show at CHGO_White Sox. Are being produced today by Sarah.
Hello.
Hello, and it's a very special CHGO White Sox episode because it's both a pregame and a postgame show. We've already dealt with all of the crushing despair of a loss, and we get to see if they can do it again tonight against the Washington Nationals. Sox lose 6-3 in Game 1 of the doubleheader. The second half of this game will start in about 30 to 45 minutes. Herb, what'd you take away from Game 1?
The White Sox aren't fixing any of the mistakes that they've made in the past. I know I've come on this air and said that Andrew Benintendi needs to hit the cutoff man when he's throwing a ball in from left field. Today, you get the same scenario, but not Andrew Benintendi. You get it from Gavin Sheets, who I know you're out there already alibying for him and saying he's not a right fielder and they put him in a terrible position. Hey, he's playing right field, and that's how he's getting his at-bats. So when you're out in right field, you got to do things fundamentally sound. It's Eddie Rosario with a guy on, I believe, second base, first and second. He hits a single to right field. The throw has to go to Andrew Vaughn, who is the cutoff man in between him and the catcher. He airmails the ball again to allows Eddie Rosario to get from first to second into scoring position. The next batter, Joey Meneses, hits a single through the left side of the infield. Of course, Eddie Rosario scores there, makes the score 3-1. Of course, the White Sox came back and tied that game, but that's besides the point. The White Sox continue to do things fundamentally incorrect. We saw where they didn't hold on a runner, and the Washington Nationals, one of the most prolific stolen base teams in the American League, in the whole major leagues, stole all day long. I mean, the guy, Trey Lipscomb, got 3 stolen bases today, and his last stolen base, he pretty much ran while the pitcher was still on the mound and didn't look back. He had the easiest stolen base in the history of Major League Baseball. It just keeps continuing happening with these White Sox on fundamentally things. I don't care if they don't win these games because they're bad. But the reason why you don't win and you don't win more is because you do things incorrectly like Gavin Sheets did. Like you don't hold on runners. You make errors. These things add up, and eventually you get the record that you deserve, which is where the White Sox are currently. Because who on the Washington Nationals do you know that's like, oh, man, that's an ass kicker? Joey Meneses? I mean, I know that.
Maybe you remember him from the World Baseball Classic.
I know, yeah, it was on Mexico. I know Eddie Rosario is the reigning National League Player of the Week, but he's not a world beater.
Well, and also
Abrams
that doesn't mean anything.
Huh?
That you're the Player of the Week in a 5-month season.
Yeah, and but like the Nationals shouldn't be out here just outclassing you, but they are. They do things right. They play the game hard. That's a team that the White Sox should look to and say, okay, we should be like them. Because today, how they played, not really good. Didn't hit the ball out the park, but just scoring runs and producing runs by extra hits, taking the extra base, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I am tired of this team, to be honest. I mean, that's really what it is. It's just the same mistakes over and over again. And then you got the leader, Pedro Grifol, saying, yeah, we know we're working on things. We're fixing on things. Like, truly, that one thing that you talk about, them completely missing the cutoff guy every single time, you're not working on that. There's not a change from game to game. We look at them and their ability to hold people on. We saw last year they had an inability to hold people on. And I kind of understand that situation why you don't throw down to second. We were talking about this, but still, it's the same scenario that we've seen a ton. And this scenario is up all across Major League Baseball. There's a guy on first, there's a guy on third. The guy on first steals, trying to draw a throw down to second. The guy on first will likely try to get into a rundown so that he doesn't get tagged before the guy scores at home. Or it's, a straight double steal and you try to beat the throw to second base and safe there, and then the guy runs to home once the throw is down to second. But like you were talking about, there was the old play in Little League. It wasn't even travel baseball. Like this was like 5th grade Oak Lawn baseball that they were teaching you, where you'd throw it, and this is right when they'd start stealing. You'd throw it to the shortstop, and the shortstop would throw it back. So it's just mainly, and we're glad Southside Sox has a place to vent here at CHGO, it's the same shit over and over again. And it's, I don't know, it's sad. Because you got Cody over there saying like, oh, I can't wait for my team to score 3 runs in a baseball game. This is pissing me off. All of our coworkers do not understand what it is to be a White Sox fan. And I really do appreciate them. I love them. Sarah, you do a great job producing us. And my favorite thing when we're watching games with you is when you're like, oh, well, they can come back. No. They can't. It's legally written in the Major League Baseball rules that they cannot come back.
Once it's July, I'll start becoming one of you. But
July?
You should be here right now.
You got another month.
Time.
You got a month and a half to get to July. Isn't it apparent? But yeah, you got Cody with they're scoring 4.64 runs per game. The Major League average is scoring 4.35, and all Jake wants for the Cubs is to score 3 runs. It's like we averaged 2.9.
Yeah, the only team.
We surpassed our typical output. We've been shut out 10 times, and there weren't even 11 teams that got out shut out 10 times in 2023.
The whole year. Out of their whole 162 game schedule, 11 teams didn't get shut out 10 times last year.
And Victor Von Doom brings up Nationals played fast, the things Pedro wants his team to do. You brought that up as well. Hey, here's a team in the Nationals that are playing young guys. You're seeing them go out. They're having, competitive. They're playing competitive baseball. They're consistently in there. Go look at the Angels. The Angels are bringing up guys that Cole Tucker was asked to be a manager or coach for the Mariners, and now he's just being put onto the Major League roster for the Angels. They're taking Kevin Pillar, and Pillar's hitting homer after homer. But Ron Washington literally says, I don't care if you get thrown out. We are going to go and steal every single bag. Like, if you're going to play fast, play fast. Even if it's predictable that you're going to go steal the base, go steal the base. Make them execute. The White Sox don't make teams execute.
No.
It's just they go out and they will fail, and you don't have to really do anything. That 8th inning was brutal. Meneses single, then ground out for Garcia. Nunez goes to third on an infield ground out. Senzel walked, then Ruiz single, Lipscomb single, and there's the runner on first and third, and then there's the still home, and then there's a sac fly that drives in 3 runs in the 8th. And the White Sox aren't able to do anything to make this game competitive. It's just brutal.
Yeah, and that was Victor Robles' 2nd RBI of the year. It's game 42. So people not guarantee the Nationals man, we get to play the White Sox? Man, I get to get right time. Let's get our stats correct right now. And so, yeah, that 8th inning was just so annoying. And it's just the culmination of what this season's all been all about. And the worst thing that happened, you have a great game, good game from Brian Ramos. Yeah. Takes a high fastball, opposite field, inside outside ball for a single on his first at bat, 102, I think, off the bat. Then makes a couple decent plays in the field. Then he does the fast thing where he goes from first to third on a Nicky Lopez single, sees the play in front of him, advances in front of the center fielder, and slides in. The ball gets away, and maybe that's where he got hurt, because later in the game, in the 7th inning, I believe, before the 7th inning starts, he's taken out of the game with quad tightness.
Yes.
So, as my guy Zoe put it, he's initiated now. He's natural White Sox. Because he gets hurt immediately.
I saw that tweet plenty. There was one where I think Tommy screenshotted Josh Nelson saying Brian Ramos plays fast, and the tweet above it is Brian Ramos removed with quad tightness. I'm not too concerned with Ramos, mainly because, like you said, there was the great play, and he was playing fast. Ramos reached on an error, then Lopez hit a single. Ramos hustled from first base to third base, and Lopez was able to move up to second base, and then Shoemake was able to drive him in with an RBI sac fly, and then Pham hit a single to drive in Lopez. So that was good baseball right there. Great job from Ramos. I think he ended up playing the 6th inning, and then we saw in the 7th that move was made for Remillard. So I wouldn't be sounding the alarms here for Ramos. Played extremely well today. maybe we'll see him in game 2. I don't think that they wrote him off. It's not like he's going to be out. There's no official word. So even though it is him being initiated, I did see a lot of panic that Brian Ramos is now dead. And that we have not gotten confirmation from Vinny Duber on whether he's alive or dead. But I'm gonna lean that Brian Ramos, even though his quad is feeling a little tight, Brian Ramos is still alive. So unfortunate for the White Sox, but also we don't have the full story. We'll get that from Vinny post game, and we'll get an update on Brian Ramos. But hopefully he's in the lineup tomorrow. We don't have to worry about this.
Oh, that'll be such a relief because this team has gone through enough where the guy that replaced the guy who got hurt is already rehabbing right now in Charlotte. And that, of course, is Danny Mendick. So he's still on the mend and probably out for another couple games. And if Ramos needs to go on the IL, we got to bring him or some other third baseman back up here. Not a fan of that. And I love my man, Zach Remillard, but that's a 4A player.
Danny's on the mend.
I mean, as a corny dude, I got to accept that.
I
have no kids, but, it's all right. It works. There's some people groaning out there.
All right. Just on the Brian Ramos stuff, too, outside of the injury, he did have a single, like Herb said, that high fastball, 105.7 mile per hour exit velocity, so great to see Ramos hitting the ball hard. And then Eloy hit a single homer, his 5th of the year in the 2nd inning, a 76 mile per hour bat swing from Eloy. So that's that's a fast swing right there. We learned that yesterday. 75 miles per hour or harder is a fast bat swing. So Eloy being able to crank out that bat speed, he did have a pretty tough ground out in the 9th inning, but oh well, that stuff happens. Is there anything else in this game that stuck out to you? Our guy Benny with 2 double plays, not fielding. He grounded in at 2 double plays.
I mean, Chris Flexen started off really strong. Like his started off the game with 7 straight strikes. Like he was doing the damage, and up until the 4th inning, he was strong. I mean, he got into a couple spots, but he got himself out of those spots. Ramos being part of that, where the double play was started by him, but gets into the 5th inning. Same thing. And, the whole scenario we just talked about, we're talking about these guys going 1st to 3rd and doing the right things, and Gavin Sheets throwing over the cutoff man, that happened in the 5th inning, so that chased Chris Flexen. I didn't think he pitched that poorly. I think it was like 68, 69 pitches on the day, maybe a little bit more, but not a lot.
86.
86 pitches on the day, so not a lot of pitches. And I thought he was rolling through the Nationals roster early, and then that 5th inning hits, and he's out of the game. I would have, for me, especially game 1 of a doubleheader, I would have kept him in that game because you need length from him so you don't go into the bullpen like they did early as they did, because the second game, you don't know if Fedde's going to have the game that he should have or that he has been having, because this is a revenge game.
I guess, but you also have a guy with Justin Anderson. You have an extra guy with the double header. So, I mean, you use Anderson. It's not like you're actually taking away from the real bullpen. And then you get Hill, Brebbia, and Wilson. Brebbia went a little bit longer than an inning, too, so you got some length there. I mean, they still have pretty much their full bullpen. I'm not too concerned about that, but I get your point. And I think the biggest thing that sticks out to me with Flexen is, again, it's not really any way that he pitched. All 5 of his pitches were down a mile per hour, which is concerning. 20% whiff rate on 44 swings, 9 whiffs, not great. 24% called strike plus whiff rate, again, not great there. But in the 1st inning, we see him put himself in a position to get out of the inning. And here comes a pop fly out to right field, and our right fielder extraordinaire, Gavin Sheets, simply cannot field the ball. I cannot say that this is more of a little league fly ball than they come. And he's staring at it. He's staring at it. He's staring at it. And he's like an inch over. And he closes the glove too soon. And it's like literally an inch away from being an out. And it's just like simple mistakes like that just need to be avoided. And it didn't end up hurting the White Sox, but like you mentioned, he threw 6 pitches more, so then he would only be at 80 pitches there. Like, I mean, do you see him go out for 100 in the 6th inning if they're able to get away from the 5th inning? It's brutal for Flexen. Flexen was fine enough, and again, just a lot of White Sox mistakes led to this.
Yeah, and as Connor says, Sheets and Shoemaker out, Ortega and Young are in. We'll go over the full lineup for game 2 in a second, but I think we got commercials.
We got to take a break, so why don't you tell people about the beer that you're wearing? You're rocking the hoodie. I mean, you're the company man. You're thinking of Milwaukee with your hat on.
And I forgot about the beer. I didn't actually bring the beer. I'll bring it in post-game, but the post-game of game 2, but nothing to me says summer like hanging out with your people.
Talking about like this?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you forgot
hanging out with your people. having a grill out, or going to the game in the Liney's Lounge and drinking a summer shandy. I know you're saying to me, Herb, I love Leinenkugel's summer shandy. It's the best beer for summer. It's summer incarnate. But what can I drink from the Leinenkugel roster in the off time when Leinenkugel's summer shandy isn't available? I got you covered right there. You can drink the Leinenkugel's Original, which I brought back from Wisconsin to this refrigerator. Light Lager, Lakeside Cherry, Juicy Peach, Berry Weiss, which Sean was holding up a second ago, Northwoods Amber, Dark Lager, or even Honey Weiss, which is made with real Wisconsin honey by real Wisconsin bees, so you know it's good. And if you've tried any of their beers at Leinenkugel, you know that Leinenkugel brings the flavor no matter what occasion you're celebrating. And for over 150 years, Leinenkugel has combined German brewing traditions with Wisconsin innovation. You don't have to just pick one. Leinenkugel's popular variety packs come in 4 favorites to try out and enjoy. Flavor life's simple moments with Leinenkugel's, the official craft beer of the Chicago White Sox. Go to Liney.com/CHGO to find options near you. That's LEINIE.com/CHGO. Or pick up Leinenkugel's pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Leinenkugel, flavor of the moment, celebrate responsibly. The Jacob Leinenkugel Brewing Company, Chippewa Falls.
Yes.
Yes.
Good job with the Jacob.
Finally.
You got it. You've been staring in the mirror and practicing. Yeah. Hey, and we obviously give the reference and the nod to Hawk there. I did not see this. We were filming Tavern Style. Apparently, John Schriffen busted out a "He Gone."
Oh,
yeah. So
nice
he's really trying.
cap.
He's really trying to what's it called? Get himself liked.
Ingratiate himself with the audience, and like he went out to the Chicago Sports Bums Whiskey at Comiskey for the second time. The man is trying to get himself into Sox fans' favorite, and that's working for him.
What is Hawk Harrelson's first name?
Kenneth. Well, if he would know that,
right? No, I was asking. John
he probably definitely wouldn't know that. He's like, "What's the guy you replaced first name?" He'd be like, Greg
Hawkold. And Edgardo asking, "Where in the world is Kopech?" I mean, Kopech wasn't in a situation where they had the lead. I mean, Kopech is the closer. I think if you see a game situation where the White Sox are winning, you'll see Leisure, and then you'll see Kopech, and that will likely be the 8th and 9th inning. I don't think that there was anything too egregious with the bullpen decision there. It's just you got to get a little bit more than Flexen. And also, too, if they brought in Justin Anderson to relieve Flexen with the bases loaded, I thought that might have been a difficult decision, but they brought in Tim Hill, and he was fine. I don't have anything really bemoaning Pedro Grifol and his choices. Want to let you know, though, about our friends over at Prize Pick. Caitlin Clark has made her debut already on May 14th. They were giving out a great promotion. If she scores a point, you win that square over at Prize Picks. They run some great promotions over there, so go download the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. They're the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. It's great with baseball started and officially underway. There's no better way to cash in on the action than Prize Picks. Add your favorite players from the diamond to your Prize Picks lineup all season long, whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, or first inning runs. Take your pick of more than or less than and add them to your Prize Pick lineup today. I know home runs are a little bit difficult to project, so maybe we'll just avoid that. And I'm going to go and give out William Contreras to get a hit.
Okay.
So over a half a hit, and then we'll take our guy Erick Fedde in the revenge game in a strikeout moment. I think he's going to have a nice game against the former team. I will take more than the strikeout prop for Erick Fedde, and I'm trying to find it. I can find it. Okay. They don't have it posted.
Nope.
But I would take the Erick Fedde one. Anyways, go check out our friends over at Prize Picks. CHGO is the code that you're going to use over at prizepicks.com/CHGO. Download the app and use code CHGO for first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO and use code CHGO for first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy. All right, let's go to the lineups for today. Starting off for your Chicago White Sox for Game 2, Tommy Pham will be leading off in right field. Batting second, Andrew Vaughn at first base. Yuck. Eloy Jimenez is your designated hitter, batting third. Paul DeJong is batting fourth at shortstop. Yuck. Batting fifth, Andrew Benintendi is playing left and batting fifth, as I said. Batting sixth, Zach Remillard at third base.
Whew,
batting seventh, Rafael Ortega in center field.
Whew,
batting eighth, Martin Maldonado at catcher. Whew. And batting ninth, Nicky Lopez at second base. This is probably one of the worst lineups I've ever seen.
Ever.
This is
in the history of the game. Like, who's getting a hit there? Tommy Pham. I mean, this is a lefter.
Zach Remelard's been on fire.
A lefty.
Remelard's got like 4 hits in his last 2 games.
Mitchell Parker. I
He's
wrote
a
his
lefty.
name down.
He's a lefty.
So Tommy Pham will get a hit. Eloy should get hits. But everybody else, those people can't hit. Like, literally can't hit versus anybody. Like, Martin Maldonado's got like 7 hits in the year.
1 homer, too.
I don't.
Let's go.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough. Erick Fedde, I guarantee he wants to go and shove it up the Nationals' ass. Maybe, like you say, there's a revenge spot here. But also, he'll feel that extra pressure of getting 0 runs here. Like, I got to pitch a perfect game, or I got to execute every pitch perfectly for me to get out of this game. So I hope he doesn't feel that way. I hope he just pitches his game, and whatever happens, happens. And maybe they can run into a couple from Mitchell Parker and give him some run support. But the lineup, as Melissa says, one ugly lineup.
Well, Parker's an interesting guy. He's got reverse flips, so lefties hit him better, and I don't know if that's because if you're going up against lefties and you're a left-handed batter, the lefties that you are going to be facing are the guys that don't need to be platooned, like a Corey Seager, right? He can hit lefties just as well as he can hit righties, so maybe that's why the splits are pretty stark, but he does a good job of shutting down righties. So maybe it's going to be up to Andrew Benintendi and Nicky Lopez to carry the team. Yay!
Whew. Or Rafael Ortega.
Yeah, I guess he's a lefty too. That's fair. Alex saying Ortega's about to go 4 for 4 with 3 homers. Then we'll never get a hit with the White Sox again. I'd love to see it.
Because it'll be hurt, Alex.
It may be.
He'll get hurt rounding the bases his 3rd home run.
It seems like this game's going to be starting at 7:05. So good on that. Earlier than a 7:10 start, so always take that. The Nationals lineup is as follow. Leading off for the Nationals, C.J. Abrams at shortstop, batting second. Trey Lipscomb at third base, batting third. Eddie Rosario in right field, batting fourth. Joey Meneses at first base, batting fifth is going to be Luis Garcia Jr. playing second base, batting sixth. Keibert Ruiz at catcher, batting seventh. Your man. $150,000.
There he is.
Jesse Winker at DH.
He's having a good year. I don't know
Yes.
what he's been doing lately, but he was having a good year.
He started off all right, 235 average. But hey, 4 homers we'll take. Ildemargo Vargas is going to be in left field, and then rounding out the Nationals lineup is going to be Jacob Young batting ninth and playing center field.
I haven't heard of half of those people. Still a better lineup to the White Sox.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know where Lane Thomas is. Lane Thomas is a national I knew. I don't know what happened. Oh, he exited with a knee injury. So Lane Thomas is hurt. So, I mean, even the guys that I barely knew are off the team and hurt. So
I thought he was a tight end for the Commanders.
No. That's Lance Thomas?
That's Lane something. It's something. I was like, God damn, are you naming?
No, because you're talking about the guy that used to be a quarterback.
Yeah, that's a tight end now. The light-skinned cat. I forgot his name, but yeah, Lane Thomas. Wow. You're just naming players that I've heard of tangentially, but are hurt on the Nationals, and so they're using their backups to bludgeon the White Sox. Their backups. This is disgusting. And the Nationals are over 500 now, right? Logan Thomas. His not brother, Logan Thomas.
No.
Instead of Lane.
Former reserve quarterback for the Cardinals, Dolphins, and then Giants, and then switching to a tight end with the Lions. And is he still? Oh, no, he just left the Washington football team.
Oh, no.
2023. So shout out to Logan Thomas for his NFL career. Blank name saying, does MLB automatically send Rafael Ortega to the worst team in Major League Baseball every year? Feels like it. Maybe. I don't think he was on the worst. Wasn't he on the Mets last year? I guess they were pretty bad.
I don't know how bad he was with the Cubs, but he was all right.
Yeah, but the Cubs were bad, I think is the point.
They weren't the worst, though.
They're pretty bad in 2021. I remember watching them. He was with the Mets last year with his 74 OPS plus. Ooh.
And the White Sox, we want that.
Want that.
Bring that shit to Chicago immediately.
We need that. All right. What is your prediction for Game 2, Herb? Is it going to be a revenge game for Erick Fedde?
I think he's going to pitch 6 innings. I think he's going to give a couple runs and strike out like 8 or 9. He's going to have a strong start because, like I said, that lineup is nothing to sneeze at. That's not a good Major League Baseball lineup. And so, yes, he will be showing the Nationals what they could have had if they would have just stuck out his bad years with them. And I don't know if the White Sox are going to score any runs. So I'm predicting him having a good quality start of a game, but the White Sox not scoring any runs off of Parker Brothers, whatever his name, Mitchell Parker.
Mitchell Parker.
Yeah.
Parker Brothers. Are you thinking of coffee?
Yeah.
Erick Fedde's strikeout number is over under 4.5. I will take the over. I think he strikes out 5 Nationals. Let's go, Eric. Chris Flexen was able to strike out 5, so I think we'll get some strikeouts from Erick Fedde. Fedde's been nice, and especially with the revenge factor, I think he'll do well for himself. I thought the White Sox could win both these games. I don't love this lineup, and this lineup definitely doesn't give me confidence that they could win. But Erick Fedde gives me confidence, so I will say the White Sox in a nail biter win 2-1. Not going to score.
Whew.
I think Andrew Benintendi's going to hit a homer. His 4th homer. I'll win click to pick.
Hey, by the way, you and Steve Stone said the same thing pretty much at the same time before Game 1, that Trevor Williams had not given up a home run all year long. You and Steve Stone said he's going to give up one today.
I will say Stoney said it first, so we'll give Stoney the credit. I did piggyback a little bit, but it was a nice thought by Steve Stone. I didn't think it was Eloy, though. I knew Eloy had the best chance because, of course, he does. He's Eloy Jimenez.
And he plays well versus Trevor Williams.
Right. Well, but also, like, what, are you going to pick Eloy Jimenez to hit a homer or Nicky Lopez to hit a homer? Like, just one guy swings the bat really hard and one guy's Nicky Lopez.
I mean, Nicky Lopez, I love him. We've had him on the show. Sweetheart of a guy. Would love to have a beer with him. 3-1 count, where you're the tying run, and I know he doesn't have power. He's late on a fastball, middle. Like, what are we doing out here? And this is an epidemic on the White Sox, where a lot of them do this exact same thing, where it's you've worked yourself to a good count. Reward yourself by cheating and saying, he's throwing a fastball, I'm going to get out the barrel out of the bat out early so I can hit this ball into the seats. No, he fouls the ball off to the left side of the field. Garbage. And before I forget, I got to give credit to, even though he got 2 loud outs, Andrew Vaughn is stinking the ball. His two first outs, over 101 miles per hour, crushed him, just hit him to the center fielder immediately where he was. So if this is the Andrew Vaughn we're going to see start hitting the ball with some authority, sometimes you're going to get outs, and sometimes those balls are going to fall in.
See, but you know when you're not going to get outs and you know when those balls aren't going to fall in? When you're staring looking at strike 3. Because he got into a 3-2 count, and to end that 5th inning after Pham singled and Shoemake drove in that sac fly and Ramos hustled to get to third base, you got a 3-2 count where he's staring at an 88-mile-per-hour fastball at the knees. It's like, do your best to foul it off if you don't think it's going to be a strike, like, or take a big healthy hack on it. Like, I get that Vaughn, hey, maybe the results will turn around, but after 3 years, I'm just kind of done with Andrew Vaughn. Like, because I mean that's the big moment that you need to. I mean, you struck 2 balls hard, keep swinging, be aggressive out there. And it's 3-2. You get an 88-mile-per-hour fastball at the knees, hit the ball to the CIBC fan deck.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And I don't know why the White Sox struggle. Well, they struggle versus all pitching, but especially below the hitting zone pitching. We saw that a couple days ago where a pitcher for the Guardians was out there throwing 90, and they were struggling versus him today. Trevor Williams, they got 3 runs off of him, but he's throwing 90 at most on that 4-seam fastball. Yes, the sweeper was devastating today, and he's learned a new pitch. It's the pitch du jour, or the pitch du jour of the year. And I think that the White Sox need to do some soul searching. You can't be both bad at hitting below the zone or below the hitting zone fastballs and also not hitting the fastballs. Like, pick a lane, brother. Get in one of them, sit on one of them, and start delivering. Like, they don't do anything like exceptionally well or even good on this team. You would think that maybe they would pick the ball up. They don't do that well. Maybe they will get on base a little bit more. They don't do that well. They pitch as a starting unit at adequate level. Let's say that. They've been pitching much better at the starting level, much better. So that's probably at league average. But everything else is below average. And I don't see where it's changing until all these youngsters come up maybe a couple of years from now.
And I see Alejandro saying, hopefully the ump is more in the zone in the second game. I know Nicky Lopez didn't love that final call that he got rung up on, but I didn't see anything that was like super egregious. There was stuff that was on the zone, but I mean, it was close enough where it's like, that's baseball. I mean, you're either going to get screwed by the ump or, you're going to get a walk. And I mean, I'm usually in favor of, if you think it's close enough, swing the damn bat.
Yeah.
You got it for a reason. Take a defensive hack, too. Like, try to foul that off and just waste it. Make them throw an 8th pitch rather than just staring at it. I don't know.
I hear you. Yeah, and when it's 2 strikes, you got to protect. And you know that ump is ready to go. It's another game going on after this one. He's going to be calling strikes that are close to the zone because he doesn't get penalized for those.
No, he doesn't. I'm ready to go. I don't know about you. Sox win?
I think the Sox lose.
Ugh, come on.
But Erick Fedde pitches very well. They get shut out today.
Sox win.
Yeah, let's go, Sarah.
I'm going 3-0.
Coming in with the 1%.
Nationals.
I'm going to go with Sarah, and I'll give a shout-out to Matt Cortese. 5-0 White Sox win and a no-hitter for Erick Fedde. Let's go.
6-0.
6-0 no-hitter. Even better. We'll double the runs from Game 1. White Sox win.
And Gardo's saying the Sox are winning 4-3.
With Kopech, and he's a little tempered here. Sox will win the second game with Kopech striking out 2 in the 9th inning. Sox 4, Nationals 3.
And is going precise.
He's not striking out the side. He's only striking out 2.
Precise.
There's
Look at
also
that,
going to be a foul off as well. Thank you to Sarah for producing the show. Thank you to Herb Lawrence. You can follow him at Ecknerwall23. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. Thank you to everyone for hanging out with us in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button. We will be back after Game 2 for a post game for the entire day for Game 1 and Game 2. So we'll see you then. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.